Alright, so today I am removing my wheel bearings on my '09 Busa and replacing them with very expensive ceramic bearings. Whether or not it's really going to help me, I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm rebuilding the whole bike anyway. Just figured to going through a couple things that I did learn. I have gotten my first one out and installed in the sprocket. I am now working on the rear wheel. Now there wasn't a ton of room because basically there's a little, I don't know what the heck you want to call it, axle guide in there, and there's not much room. I did go to Harbor Freight, yeah I know, but I didn't want to spend $500 on a puller, and I got this tool here from Harbor Freight. 20 some bucks. It actually did help on that one where I'm not beating up my sprocket housing. The problem I had with this one is that axle and the bearing were very close together, so I could not get this hooked around the bearing. Well, what I end up doing, obviously online they show a lot of things, welding a washer on there and beating it out from the other side. I ended up taking my long flat blade screwdriver, I flipped the wheel over ever so gently. I stuck it down in the hole, see if I can get a little bit of light in there, and it was just enough to where I could move that axle. Sorry about this, is a horrible video trying to do three things at once, but I could move the axle out of the way just enough to hit the bearing. I'd move it over the other side, hit it out, and so on and so forth. So now, as you can probably see there, I've got a decent gap. Now I think I can hook up my wheel bearing puller and kind of go from there. Definitely helped me get that out. I don't feel like beating on the wheel, so it's just kind of one of those things. I would rather not hit it as many times as I really want to. The other thing I ended up picking up was one of these guys. Seems to work pretty well. Isn't totally perfect in terms of making sure that the bearing goes in exactly straight. So I did use a rubber mallet for some of it just to kind of tap the bearing in, and then I finished it off with that guy to get it seated. Whether or not it was worth the money, I guess I could argue, but I have them now. I don't have to worry about them. It's one of those cheaper tools that when I need it, I'll have it, and it didn't cost me a whole bunch. So anyway, that's my quick little thing. Let me know if you got any questions, but so far so good. I've only got 4 more to go. All right.